Hi everybody, welcome to this week's Baby Soul reading for the week starting the 17th of June 2024. So let's dive right into this reading. This week I've got the Rose Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. So as always, when I'm working with oracle cards, I always like to clear the deck first before I use them, just to release any old energies and also to set a new intention for this particular reading or use of the cards. So there's many different ways to clear a deck, but I like to tap it 3 times, set an intention for all of you who are listening today, and then carry on with the reading. Okay, so I'll pop this up on the screen, but the card that has come through for today, or for this week really, is Release the Petals. So transformation, death and rebirth, shedding, all change. So for some of you listening, this may scare the bejeepers out of you when we hear anything around change or shedding or releasing, and even the death and rebirth. You know, it can bring up a lot of fear in us. You know, as humans, we're kind of hardwired to resist change in many ways. So hearing words like this, I'd invite you just to see how you responded to those words. I feel there may have been like a very small proportion of you that may have felt a sense of expansion into those words, a sense of anticipation, even excitement around changes or what may be shedding, what may be releasing. But probably for the vast majority of you, probably me included, I would say, in that, as I read those cards, I was a bit like, whoa, that's a bit intense. Yeah, had that more of like a reaction of contraction is how it feels, and a little bit of, oh God, I don't know about this. So yeah, so I feel like first step today is just identifying which bucket you found yourself in as I read those words. And as I tune in now to some more insights or meanings behind these words, yeah, just take what resonates and allow whatever doesn't to fall away. So transformation is the word I'm drawn to first. So transformation is really big for all of us at this time, but we do have the choice as to whether we transform or not. So if I bring this back to the motherhood journey and where you may be, whether that's preconception, whether you're pregnant, navigating loss, or whether you already have children earthside, or maybe you fit a few of those categories rather than just one. So the focus here is on the transformation and the growth through the struggle, the growth through the pain. We all experience pain in different ways. We can't avoid that here on earth, unfortunately. But on the soul level, it's really powerful as a transformation. Even though, and if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I say that the biggest, I guess, soul lessons or growth for the soul often come in the form of lessons or experiences that are quite brutal for us as humans and for our human body, mind, spirit, however you want to interpret that. So transformation, I do believe, is optional. We have a choice when it comes to transformation. We can choose to stay in the old ways, the old patterns, the old beliefs, those things that swirl round and round and round in our mind. Or we have the choice to release at least some of the resistance. And that's kind of a little bit more of what this card is sharing today. Releasing a little bit more of that resistance around the change, around the transformation, around the growth. When we can allow ourselves, it's that sense of allowing ourselves to flow down with the river, with wherever way the current is taking us, rather than trying to paddle upstream. But also knowing that with that, we can take time out as well. We can take time out and sit on the bank of the river as we watch the water go by as well. We don't always need to be like in that fast current either. As humans, our nervous systems don't often like that very much. So yeah, so coming back to the card, like releasing the petals, I feel this is also for those of you who may be having experiences that haven't gone according to plan. You know, I'm a big believer in plans changing. I deeply believe, having done this work for many years now, that it's not set in stone. You know, we layer a lot of expectations onto the motherhood journey around conception, around pregnancy, around birth, around loss, around children once they're here. It's part of our social conditioning and patterning, and it's not to say that in a judgmental way, but it's the layers that build up on us, not just in our own experiences, but also taking on board the experiences or the opinions or the energy of others as well. So this card is really about coming back to you, what's yours, what's others, and also releasing expectations that you may be having, especially if the plan doesn't seem to be working out for you. When, in my experience doing this work, like when something's not working, it's not that the journey is wrong. It's that the expectations and the beliefs around what that journey should or shouldn't look like, perhaps a little bit unrealistic or a little bit misaligned for your journey and what's ahead of you. So that's where I feel like release the petals come in. It's releasing those expectations. It's understanding that we don't actually know, unless we tune in and ask them, we don't actually know when your baby wants to come. We don't actually know why your baby chose to leave through miscarriage or what happened for a stillbirth to occur, the energies behind that. We don't know why your children came to the earth or what they came here to experience and why they chose you. So there's all of these bigger pieces of the puzzle that are coming into play here. And again, coming back to what this card is asking or guiding you on is to start to release some of those expectations. You know, check in and just see if you can expand your awareness a little to think, maybe this is going to be different. Or maybe I'm kind of been, not necessarily barking up the wrong tree, but maybe I just need to face a different direction. Or maybe I need to take a pause and sit on the side of the river for a little while. And yeah, and the moral of the story is change. You know, I hear it over and over and over again, and it's been my experience, and I see this collectively on the earth. You know, life is about change. You know, nothing stays the same, whether we like it or not. Change is always going to happen. So the more that we can embrace change, and again, by releasing some of these expectations, but also embracing that, yeah, that change can be beautiful and positive and exciting and heartwarming. All of these things, it doesn't have to be a bad thing. And changing our expectations around your motherhood journey and where you're at. It's like, what can you start to lean a little bit more into or soften a little bit of if there's perhaps some rules or rigidity or expectations, like where can you soften around that? Just as maybe it's going to be different than what I thought. And maybe that's okay. Anyway, I hope some of those words resonated with you this week. If you've only just stumbled across me, I'm Lauren. I'm a baby soul communicator and former registered nurse. And I help women to really connect with their baby soul. Because after all, like, it's the baby soul that comes and goes from the earth. So they're the ones that have the answers to the questions that we're asking about their journey. And also our journey as well. Okay, have a great week, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you next week.